Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sean Harvey, and today we're going to be talking about why we should care about the bully. Okay, now most of you may be scratching your head and say, well, why would you care about the bully? The bully is bad, right? But it's so important that we also focus on helping the bully because this is what's going to help to prevent it. Okay. Now I've met various parents in the past where I've asked them that you should put your child into bullying education, and some are reluctant to do that because they feel that it's not an issue. My son is too young, or my child is too young to know it. They're not being exposed to it, right? But I don't think people really understand what bullying actually is. Okay. And a lot of people are in denial about it. Okay. Now, why is it so important that we focus on helping the bully? It's because there's something going on. Like I've said in previous videos, there is something that's going on inside the bully that's making the bully behave that way. So, and this is what makes it so difficult because many people are in denial when it comes to this subject. Okay, so like I mentioned in other videos, is that there are many ways of how someone can develop bullying tendencies. Okay, and a lot of people don't realize that a bully behaves more like they're in a powerful situation. They tell people what to do and how to do it, and right, and they're shouting at them, and this is what you do, this is how you do it. So a lot of times, parents may not even realize that at times they're bullying their child. The way they talk to them and how they try to get them to do stuff is shouting and all kinds of things that go on. So this is how your child becomes a bully. Because what happens is that when your child is being shouted at, or your child is feeling less than, then they go to school, or they go wherever they go, and they try to get their self-esteem back. Because what happens if you have a parent that's shouting at a child, or you have another child bullying your child, it's lowering their confidence, it's lowering their self-esteem, it makes them feel bad, right? So it's giving them an unhealthy mental attitude. So what they do is they try to fix it by hurting other people's feelings and and that's how they make themselves feel good. They're externally motivated. So it's so important that we tackle this subject, and we really start to realize that when you send your child to school, and they're having these bullying tendencies, it's just making life difficult for the school teachers and the other children that go there. Now, some of the reasons why your child may develop these bullying tendencies, it could be the culture, right? The social norm, right? This is what goes on. This is how we talk to each other. That's how we're aggressive. We're aggressive. And I've met some people that say that it's good to be a dictator. It shocked me, but I've heard this before, right? That becoming a dictator is very good. It gets things done, right? It's a very odd way of looking at it, but that again, the reason why that person has that perception is because that's what they're used to. It's a social norm. Okay. Another way a child can become a bully is through family dynamics. Okay, it could be where it could be poor parenting modeling, right? Like shouting going on, aggressive behavior, maybe seeing violence at home. All of that stuff goes on um, when it comes to developing in your child bullying tendencies. Okay, another thing, it could be ridicule. Sometimes if you see your child make a mistake, or may do something that you thought that they could do better at, and then you make a comment, and it's a comment that is ridiculing your child, that will lower their self-esteem, and then that's what they would do when they go to school or wherever they go. So it's so important that we start to look inwardly when it comes to bullying, and we have to stop. trying to deny that this is going on. I've seen bullying go on many, many, many times, and sometimes people don't even realize that they are bullying someone, or they may think it's fun. Like, I'll give you an example. Let's say, for instance, you feel that a particular person or child can work harder at something. Oh, you could do better at that, or you could do this, or you could do that. People may not see that. You may not think that's bullying. You may think that that is a normal way to get someone to do something. That this is motivation, right? But a lot of times it doesn't create motivation. It's actually destroying the child's mental attitude. Now it's becoming more negative because they think something's wrong with them, right? They think that, oh, I should be better, but you have to realize that everything takes time, right? And you need nurturing and you need positive reinforcements to get our children to really improve and grow. Okay, so why is bullying us very important for us to tackle, and why we should focus on the bully is because they will experience negative consequences for being a bully, right, as a result of their behavior. Okay, now this could include feelings of guilt, right? Now some people may say, well, I don't think the bully really cares. Well, you can't really speak for the bully because you don't know how the bully became a bully. All right, and again, one of the reasons why a bully behaves that way is because they're used to people not being nice to them. So a lot of times the bully has that individual person has a good heart. It's just that they've been roughed up. So the more that we have empathy and the more that we educate ourselves on what or how bullying happens or how it becomes or how a person becomes a bully, the more that we can understand what's going on inside the other person. So they can have feeling of guilt. I know, like I said in another video, we had a particular guy that went to school and people used to call them flappers, right? I mean, as you get older, you're like, man, why did we do that, right? So it creates a feeling of guilt. Also, it also can, in addition to guilt, it could be shame. I feel ashamed of why I did that. Why did I do that to that person? Okay, they didn't deserve that. Also, loneliness. A lot of people don't realize that most times, the bully is trying to fit in, right? And people are saying, "I don't want you in my group because you're not a nice person. You're a bad person," and you hear it all the time. It doesn't like people say, "Oh, my child is too young." No, I've heard this at 5 year olds talking this way. Okay, we need to spread the education to stop it. If we really want to stop bullying, we need to get involved as a community to really solve this problem. And because of bullying, they may have a difficulty forming relationships, right? Worthwhile relationships, especially the person that said that, oh, it's good to be a dictator. You're not going to form any real relationships or meaningful relationships with that type of behavior. Okay. So, but the reason why that person s- said that is because that's what they have become accustomed to. That's all they know. So, so it's so important for us to um, behave a certain way toward that person so that they over time could possibly understand that there's another way to solve a problem. Okay. Um, Also, the bully can have an increased risk of engaging in criminal behavior, right? And so if we can help the bully by helping them to realize what's going on inside of them, we can save them from criminal behavior and being incarcerated because of the deeds that they're doing. Like I said before, man, a lot of people, children, you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Like I said before earlier, that you don't know about them being lonely. Um, and another thing about the loneliness too is that Sometimes the child becomes a bully because they don't have that parental support around them all the time. A lot of times the children are by themselves. They go out and they're playing, they go to the park and they're on their own. And a lot of times they don't have that adult supervision to help them make better choices and decisions. So they can be susceptible to bullying or they can become a bully. Also, you have to realize is that when a child is spending a lot of time alone, like this is what a lot of people don't realize. You know what I mean? A lot of times, if your child is spending time alone, they don't know how to socialize. So sometimes when they do socialize, they may be too aggressive. They may not know how to create win-win situations. Where one person is winning and the other person is losing. And that's how conflict starts. So I don't want to spend too much time on this topic, but I'm hoping that through this video that more and more parents and people around the world will start to take bullying more seriously and realize that bullying is not just physical bullying. Verbal bullying goes on tremendously, and then relational bullying is goes on all the time. Right? Relational bullying is spreading rumors about someone, right? To destroy their reputation and to destroy the relationships that they're having with other people. And then now they can also do that through cyberbullying as well, which means that they can get to so much more people so much faster through a messaging app. So that's cyberbullying. Okay. And all of these things destroy people's self esteem, it destroys their confidence, it creates anxiety, it creates depression, it creates sickness, it creates mental disorders. And these problems stay with people for the rest of their life because you have to understand how the mind works. Because once you put a meaning to something, and you believe it to be true, then you create that character and then you start to live that character for the rest of your life. Then really, it wasn't true. It was something that happened that you wish didn't happen. And you just say, okay, and then you put it on that there's something wrong with me when it's nothing wrong with you. It's something that's wrong with the other person. Well, I wouldn't say it's something wrong with them, but it's something that's going on in the other person that's how they behave that day or that moment. But what we do is we take that one moment and we make it last forever. And that's what creates the mental disorders. Okay? So it's so important that we focus on preventing bullying and educating and spreading the awareness of bullying so we can help people around the world understand that we need to live with empathy, love, inclusion, and so that everyone can feel accepted. Right? If you got anything on the video, remember to like, subscribe, and share the video to your friends and family around the world so we can continue to help people overcome bullying and to prevent it. And I'll see you on the next video.